on paper, this should not work. A TV show should not encompass what it means to be human so much. I have just finished watching The Good Place. I am very emotional. And I think I watched the entire thing in about 5 days. 4 seasons, 50 episodes. Ridiculously addictive. And it's not perfect. There are a few things that made it slow down a little bit, and I'll talk about that. But I will say there will, in about a minute, be spoilers. I'll kind of give my initial thoughts without spoiling anything. But there are obviously things that I want to talk about in a bit more depth. So this first aired in 2016, and there are, as I said, 4 seasons. The final was 2020. And it's created by Michael Schur and has an incredible cast. Kristen Bell, William Jackson Harper, Jameela, Darcy Carden, who is absolutely incredible, Manny, Jacinto, the amazing Ted Danson. I love Ted Danson, and I didn't know he was in this. In fact, this is the only thing that I've ever watched on Netflix when you finish watching a TV series and there's not another episode? So it just randomly picks a show that they think you might like and just starts playing it. That's how I watched this one. And I am so grateful for Netflix for picking this one at random. It's been an emotional few days. And what this is about is 4 people end up in the afterlife. And it seems pretty great, but not everything is as it seems. And the whole show, this isn't a spoiler, the whole show is about working out what it means to be good, what you have to do to get into the good place. Basically, a version of heaven or paradise or whatever you like to call it. But the actual narrative structure should not, but absolutely does work. So from now there will be spoilers. Usually with a show like this, I'd semi-script my thoughts because I have a lot of kind of thoughts scattered in a line that's more wibbly-wobbly than Jeremy Beremy. But I have literally just finished watching the last episode and I need to kind of, I need the catharsis of purging my thoughts about this because it's very, very kind of, it's addictive and it kind of encapsulates you. It's intense. Okay, so spoilers from now because I don't know what I'm going to say. There are, as I said, 50 episodes. And I thought that this would be about what they got up to in The Good Place. The fact that at the end of the first season, it was revealed that they were not in the good place and they were in the bad place is one of the biggest shocks I've ever had from a comedy. Yeah? This is full of so many twists. Every second episode has a twist in it, give or take. I think there were a few times when I thought that twist wasn't really necessary, but for the most part, there are probably like 20 twists or something, and most of them are jaw-dropping amazing and really, really took me by surprise. I think there was also, just while I'm on the negative train, there were one too many times when I questioned who was the real Michael. I feel like I think it's all a bit of a blur now, it's all kind of one thing, but I think at some point at the beginning of season 4, I think we had to question who was the real Michael. Was it Michael or was it Vicky? And I think that dragged on a little bit too much. But other than that, and apart from the occasional flashback to the Earth life, particularly with like Chidi's, I didn't really like his flashback too much. Everything else was just absolutely perfect. The fact that they were able to take this one storyline, this one very in-depth, detailed storyline, and make it stretch 50 episodes should not work. No storyline should be sustainable for 50 episodes, and it is. And obviously there are other little mini storylines along there, but it's all very much the same. Finding out that it's the bad place, and Michael eventually realising that he doesn't want to be bad anymore, and then them trying to not get captured and taken to the bad place, trying to change the judge's mind, trying to get to the good place, and then ultimately realising the good place is not actually infallible. Obviously, I said there are spoilers here. What I love is the second last episode. I have to say, while I see the importance of the final episode, that's something that could have been just left to the imagination. Apart from Michael, what Michael did in the last episode made me cry like a child, and that's probably because I love Ted Danson a lot. But also, Michael as a character, I just love so much. I really, really adore him as a character. His development was amazing. Obviously, the development of all of the characters were great, because that's the point of the show. It's about making people better. And it's also, I like how all four of them were bad people in their own way. Eleanor, very much just not bothered about other people's emotions. Chidi was not what I would consider to be a bad person. I think out of all of them, I've got more character traits of Chidi than any of the others, so I'm not sure what that says about me. Tahani, yeah, I think she really came into her own towards kind of season 2. And Jason, I loved Jason. I thought he was brilliant. Very, very well acted. But the one who captured my heart above all is Janet. If Janet wasn't in this, it would not be as good. I love her. I love good Janet. I love bad Janet. Didn't really care for neutral Janet or disco Janet. But she's absolutely fantastic. And even her unsurprising character development was great. You know, I started talking about something else about a minute ago and can't remember what I was saying. Yes, I do. The final. Michael in the final I loved. But other than that, I think it should have stopped one episode earlier. Because we didn't need to see them going through the doors. We knew that they would do that eventually. We didn't need to see that happening. I feel like ending it on the penultimate episode would have been more effective if they could have incorporated Michael's trip to Earth within that. I think that would have really, really turned it into something a bit more, well, even more emotional. It's incredible. The fact that this one show goes, this is what it means to be human, and you know, this is a question, it's you know, one of the most philosophical questions there is. What does it mean to be human? And in 50 episodes, this show manages to answer that very question, and it's just, I have tears in my eyes. It's amazing. It's incredible. I don't know if I'm overwhelmed by how good it is, or the fact that they were able, you know, this is such a massive achievement. A show like this should not work, and it does. Digressing, great supporting cast. Was really happy to see Marc Evan Jackson as Shawn, and Derek Hofstetler as Jason. Brilliant. Loved Maya Rudolph as the judge. Thought she was fantastic. Loved her sass. Loved how, you know, brilliant she was. I really enjoyed her. Special effects, amazing. Really love the special effects. But what makes this, you know, better than basically anything else I've ever seen is the fact that they take a very complicated subject, make it, I don't want to say easy to understand, but because they're basically philosophizing this topic for 50 episodes, it kind of allows you to digest everything that's being said, and this is basically an answer to what it means to be human, and that perfection doesn't exist. I guess it's too much of a good thing. You can have too much of a good thing, and that's kind of what that end touches upon. You can strive for perfection, but if you haven't got the rain, then you can't make the rainbows. You need to take the good with the bad. And it's it's difficult. Also, Lisa Kudrow, obviously brilliant choice for those last few episodes. Love her, of course. It's amazing. Watch it. Please watch it. And then you will not stop watching it. I promise you won't. I watched, as I said, about 10 episodes in the day. My entire evenings every day for the last 4 or 5 days was just watching this. It's amazing. it's full of surprises. A little bit emotional. It's fantastic. I promise you will love it. The Good Place. Even though I've just said it's not possible, The Good Place is perfect.